Hebrews. This is Prophets of Awakening. This is Wednesday night, the 12th of January 2022. We be dealing with Ask Brother Leonard night, and we're gonna be dealing with anybody come up with any Q&A or any questions or comments about something they've been studying. We're gonna talk about it. And then I got a video I'm gonna play. Yeah. So I'm asking everybody to like, share, subscribe to Prophets of Awakening, and hit the notification button. It's a non-Messianic channel. We deal with the Tanakh and the Torah. The Tanakh is the Old Testament, and the Torah is the 45 books of the Old Testament. Shalom and welcome everyone to Prophets of Awakening. We're going to do our moment of silence, our prayer, and then the song, and then move forward. This moment of silence is for the Lord of Hosts, Yahweh, our Creator, and all that they're doing to bring about our deliverance. Prophesied deliverance from the end, from the oppressors. Okay? Oh Lord, we come before thee at this hour and at this time to thank thee for and praise thee for thy strength and thy great love and great power. Oh Lord, we come before thee with praise because we understand now who you are, and we appreciate you, Lord. We appreciate your love, we appreciate your wisdom, we appreciate your consistency, and we appreciate your patience and understanding. And we understand your position both in heaven and earth. And therefore, we come this day seeking our love and wisdom and consistency of spirit and our understanding, and that we are able to endure to the end and tarry and wait upon thee and wait upon thy prophecies and thy order. Peace be unto thee. Okay. Read it. Psalms out here right quick. Okay. Okay. I'm going to read Psalm 102. It's a cry for distress. It says, hear my prayer, O Lord, and let my cry come unto thee. Hide not thy face from me in the day when I am in trouble. Incline thine ear unto me in the day when I call. Answer me speedily. For my days are consumed like smoke, and my bones are burned as a heat. My heart is smitten and withered like grass, so that I forgot to eat my bread. The reason of the voice of my groaning, my bones cleave to my skin. I am like a pelican of the wilderness. I am like an owl of the desert. I watch, and I am a sparrow alone upon the housetop. My enemies reproach me all the day, and they that are mad against me are sworn against me. I have eaten ashes like bread, and mingled my drink with weeping, because of thine indignation and thy wrath. But thou hast lifted me up, cast me down. My days are like a shadow, a decline. I am withered like grass. But thou, O Lord, shalt endure forever, and thy remembrance unto all generations. Thou shalt arise and have mercy upon Zion. For the time to favor her, yea, the set time is come. For thy servants take pleasure in your songs, and favor the dust thereof. So the heathen shall fear the name of the Lord, and all the kings of the earth be glory by glory. And the Lord shall build up Zion, he shall appear in his glory. He will regard the prayer of the destitute and not despise their prayers. This shall be written for generation to generation, and the people shall be created to praise the Lord. For he hath looked down from the heights of the sanctuary. From heaven did the Lord behold the earth, to hear the groanings of the prisoners, to loose those that are appointed to death, to declare the name of the Lord in Zion, and his praise in Jerusalem. When the people are gathered together, and the kingdoms to serve the Lord, he weakened my strength in the way, he shortened my days. I said, O my God, take me not away in the midst of my days. Thy years are throughout all generations. O Lord, let's say of old hast thou laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the work of thy hands. They shall perish, but thou shalt not endure. Yea, all of them shall wax old like a garment, as a vesture shalt thou change them, and they shall be changed. Be thou, be thou art, but thou art the same, and thy years shall have no end. The children of thy servants shall continue, and thy seed shall be established before thee. And Psalms 102, a cry in the time of distress. Okay? We come
Verse 13. Thou
okay.
shalt arise and have mercy upon Zion, for the time to favor her, yea, the set the time is come.
Okay.
Yes,
So then you know it's a set time.
right.
Is that something? You gotta endure until that
To
time
that
manifests.
time.
Is that something? Okay. Is that something? Okay, anybody got any current events? I got a chance to talk to somebody I've been dealing with for almost 20 some about 20 years almost. So I'm gonna play a little bit of one of his videos. But just remind I just got to remind her how close we are. You know, just gotta hold on.
Listening and viewing audience. Welcome back. I hope y'all still paying attention, family. Hope you're still paying attention. Because if you are not, you just might be caught off guard.
Okay.
More delays are coming. More delays are coming. Right now, there are shipping congestion disasters clogging up New York ports. All around the world, we are seeing this. For the most part, most people don't even think about where their products come from. They just kind of expect them to be there when they go to purchase. But here lately, we've all been taking notice that some things are not there, or some things that we may have ordered have been pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. I'm still waiting on some things that I ordered last year, y'all. Right now, this economy has been affected so drastically by this pandemic. Like 2 years from now. These delays keep on happening. As I read through an article today on this subject matter, they are saying that a lot of the people that work at these ports and at these various locations are sick, that they are understaffed. There's congestion all around. Now, I don't know what all of the details are. I don't know how true all of this is because we've been hearing this and seeing this for quite some time now. But it is starting to hit people where it matters. Those things that we need, those things that we order, those things that we want in some cases, they are getting harder and harder and more difficult to get as quickly as we thought. So, that being said, I hope everyone is paying attention. I hope we're paying attention because it's not just with shipping, but even things that are flown in, even the trucking industry. Some of you all notice more in your areas than others may notice in their areas. It depends on where you are, whether or not you're feeling the the effects of it as badly as the next person. But I know for a fact some things that we have ordered. There was something my husband said he ordered recently that hasn't gotten here. And the thing that I ordered was back in July. And I think I mentioned before the reason why I haven't canceled the orders because the price has gone up $40, right? And if I do cancel, and they just so happen to get it in at some point, I'm going to have to pay that that $40 increase. And that's per item because I ordered 10 of them. There's some raised beds for our farm, the tall raised beds. But that's why I haven't canceled my orders because I'm trying to see. I mean, of course, at some point, if they don't get me my stuff, I'm going to have to just go ahead and cancel it. But that is just further proof of what many of us have been talking about. This thing is happening. It is happening. They are slowing down the supply chain for all kinds of things. All kinds of things. Now, there was something we needed here on the farm in a certain color to match what we already had. And we went to, I think it was Lowe's, and they didn't have it in stock, okay? They didn't have it in stock. And so we asked them how long would it take for them to get it in stock. They told us 18 weeks.
What?
Not 18 days, family. 18 weeks. And so you know what we did? We said, you know what? Tell you what, we'll take it in brown and paint it white ourselves, right? And that's what it's come down to. Either you wait the 18 weeks or you improvise and you say, you know what, I'll take another color or work with that, paint it or do whatever I have to do.
Okay. Any comments on that? Anybody had any kind of experiences like that with the shipping industry?
No, not yet.
Okay. You want to say something? Check this out right here. I thought this was pretty interesting. This is Europe underwater. This is yesterday and today. Europe.
Oh, wow.
Power outages have occurred in parts of southwestern France today, and roads and railways have been blocked as torrential rain has caused flash floods and high river levels in several departments. The Pyrenees, Landes, Haute-Garonne, and Ariège were hit hardest, with floods caused by heavy rainfall, ranging from 80 millimeters in the lowlands to 250 millimeters in the Pyrenees Mountains. The floods have particularly affected the region of the river Loiron, which flows through the Landes and the Atlantic Pyrenees. Some flooding has been reported in Ariège, especially on its routes towards Andorra. Access to the principality was blocked earlier this morning due to snow. More than 100 homes were affected by flooding. Firefighters and rescuers were called in about 500 incidents in the department. Schools finished at 12 o'clock. Special buses were used to deliver students to their homes due to the flooding. Warm southerly winds that have melted snowdrifts in the Pyrenees Mountains in recent days have also contributed to the flooding, which will continue for several days. The French Meteo Agency also warned of the high risk of avalanches in the Pyrenees, which separate France from Spain, where local flooding has also been reported. The regional government of the Spanish region of Navarra said on Friday that several buildings and cars were damaged in its car after a landslide that followed 2 weeks of torrential rains in its car, and more than 100 houses were not energized.
Anybody got any comments on that? Anybody got any comments on that? Okay.
We can't say we haven't been warned that things would get worse in 2022. Now, this is exactly what's happening. All over the nation.
Can you hear that? Is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Basic services are breaking down, and supply chains are in total chaos due to a slowdown in production and a severe shortage of workers. All of these problems already existed last year, but our leaders decided to ignore them. The mainstream media didn't pay much attention to what was going on until things have gotten too bad. And now that the emergence of a new, highly contagious variant has taken these crises to an entirely new level, that's all they talk about. Over the past few days, countless stories covering the nationwide breakdown of services have started to become popular as conditions aggravated. The Drudge Report recently exposed that all around the country, ambulances are seeping up to hospitals and then suddenly changing direction because hospitals are full. Employee shortages are causing delays in trash and subway services and diminishing the ranks of firefighters and emergency workers. Meanwhile, airport officials are shutting down security checkpoints at some of the biggest terminals in the U.S., and schools are deeply struggling to find teachers for their classrooms. The current explosion of new infections in the U.S. is causing a breakdown in basic functions and services. The latest illustration of how the virus keeps upending life more than 2 years into the health crisis describes the report. This worrying situation is being recorded in almost every state, and it is profoundly affecting industry after industry. Last week, one report revealed that due to a shortage of healthcare workers, one severely ill man in St. Louis had to wait 10 hours for an ambulance to show up. This week, Dr. Steve Stites, the Chief Medical Officer for the University of Kansas Hospital, disclosed in an interview that due to lack of nurses, when the leader of a rural hospital had no place to send its dialysis patients, the hospital staff consulted a textbook and tried to put in some catheters and figure out how to do it. When people get to our hospitals, oftentimes they can't get treated in a timely manner, simply because there are not enough healthcare workers to treat them. Even though hospitals are trying to hire as fast as they possibly can, finding qualified staff is exceedingly difficult these days. For instance, in the community hospital of McCook, Nebraska, Tony Brantz, who runs the facility, has been trying to recruit an ultrasound technician for the past 6 months, but so far he didn't get one single application. He explained that for lower-level positions, the hospital has to compete with the local Walmart store, where wages are rising much faster than in his facility. He has to keep track of the pay offered by the retailer and other large local employers, including a hose manufacturer and an irrigation equipment supplier. That's how crazy today's job market has become. Today, there are over 10 million job openings in the United States. But in December, only 199,000 workers were added to the economy, according to the latest data released by the Labor Department. That was the fewest jobs added in any month of 2021, and a major disappointment to economists that had predicted jobs growth of double that number. How can forecasts be so off month after month? According to Sarah House, an economist at Wells Fargo, the vast majority of models that economists use to make these predictions are not adapted to capture the true extent of the labor shortage. Some industries are being more affected than others, and some sectors that typically had a better performance when it comes to job gains have actually recorded a decline in the number of workers. Amongst the hardest hit industries are hospitality and leisure, only adding 53,000 jobs last month, while the sectors remain short on 1.2 million positions compared to pre-health crisis levels. Other professional and businesses services such as manufacturing, construction, transportation, and warehousing also added a dismal amount of jobs in December. At the same time, retail, which usually adds thousands of jobs during the holiday season, showed a seasonally adjusted decline. In the old days, a monthly job gain of 199,000 workers would have barely kept up with population growth. But our population has been declining at an alarming pace these days. Sadly, we may lose many more Americans this year, given that our hospitals are absolutely overwhelmed, with hundreds of thousands of patients checking in week after week, and many of them have been left without treatment for days. Biden's mandates for healthcare workers have done unprecedented damage to the system, and as hospitals scramble to hire more workers, the National Guard is being forced to serve hospital duty in some states. In Massachusetts, as a massive wave of patients drowns the Memorial Medical Center, the National Guard is filling the gaps left by nurses, doctors, and other staff members that have simply quit their jobs. The number of confirmed infections continues to go up, and ambulances are dropping off patients for which there is no room. It's just the perfect storm for a nightmare here in the emergency department, stressed Dr. Eric Dixon, the CEO of the hospital and an emergency physician. The main hospital of the state is already over capacity at 115%, and the numbers are only expected to soar in the coming weeks as the new variant spreads rapidly across the region. That means that if you show up at your local emergency room with a serious condition or illness, you may get treated by a member of the National Guard that has absolutely no medical training at all.
Okay. Any comments? Is there some?
Walmart know what they doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they know what they doing.
Okay. Is there some? Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna open it up for some any questions or comments, or anybody got a question or comment? Something we want to talk about?
I was watching this I think he's passed away now, but I've seen him several times on different things, and he was talking about, he was kind of debating, and it was very interesting. He was debating between, it was him and one of the camps that believes in chart and believes in JC and all of that. And I have to send it to y'all in Messenger, but a lot of stuff that we talk about, You know, people, I think this was, and it looks like it was 6 or 7 years ago. And, you know, they were trying to, I mean, they were trying to rattle him, but he had all, it was so obvious. And what he did was he invited the guy on, and then they debated the different verses that we always talk about that people, you know, Christians always use. Um, and then he would let, you know, the Messianic Israelite say his piece, and then, but what I noticed was he did not really have to. All he had to do was go to the scripture in the Old Testament, and but the other guy was, you know, like they said, do not add or take
Right.
away. He was like just creating
Right.
all these excuses, and oh, it doesn't mean this. So I was sitting there. It was very interesting because the other guy's like, "But this is what it says." So you telling me the Lord is not, you know, telling the truth? Are you saying the Lord is, you know? So it was just all he did. He's like, "I'm not debating. I'm just saying this is what the Lord said. This is what you saying," and it was perfect. It was perfect.
Okay.
But I was sending that to y'all because and it was like 6, 7 years ago. And I think he passed away maybe 3 years ago, because I guess the guy who took over for him is where I used to live in Atlanta, and
Right.
they have a church in Atlanta. It's hard to find non-Messianic people, but yeah, they have a pretty big following in Atlanta.
Okay. Yeah, I think I know you're talking about. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anybody else have anything? Okay. We don't have any segments right here. Like I said, I'm in the process of getting this person right here on Prophets of Awakening, or either that or we're gonna go over there. But we'll see why. You know, it's just at that time. You know, you just burn out on all the drum that people bring in when to even bring up JC and try to make him fit in the puzzle. You call yourself a teacher nowadays. It's ridiculous. You know, it's crazy.
The date, December 25th, 2011, and it's part of a two-part discussion. We're going to be talking about whether or not we can consume cow's milk initially, and then the bulk of the discussion is going to be regarding the 7-day Sabbath and when it begins, and also subsequently when the day begins. But first, as I said, brother, we're just going to continue where we left off. Last time I was here, you mentioned the fact that you didn't consume cow's milk, and you gave your reasoning based in Deuteronomy chapter 32, which it mentions about the butter of kine, milk of sheep, with the fat of lambs. So, and as I told you before, butter is obviously a byproduct of milk. So how is it that we can consume the cow itself and butter, which is a byproduct, but you feel that we can't consume butter? Ain't got nothing to do with feel. Butter melts at room temperature. So you know it's going to melt at 98.6, which is the body temperature. So it's not going to clog the arteries. Milk has the makeup of it. It's got an ingredient called casein. And casein is what fills up the lungs in a human being, creating a lot of problems. That's why a lot of people are what they call milk intolerant, lactose intolerant. But the people who are lactose intolerant, they can't consume any dairy. That would include butter, cheese, any of that stuff. But point being is, generally, people are not going by the dietary laws of the Most High. So they're consuming other things that creates a lot of this problem. Right? It's like people eat They stop eating pork, but they still eating chicken. They still eating turkey. They still eating things that's unclean. Okay?
Well, I mean, since you mentioned it, this, as I showed you last time, because your whole basis for saying that you didn't eat turkey was because you felt it
wasn't family. It's kind
I've showed you proof that
I don't care what they say in that book.
But
I told you that. I don't care what they say in that book.
Does not consume. It's not a scavenger.
Have you checked the characteristics of a turkey?
Yes.
You have? You've seen one.
I've seen one.
Yeah.
I've been around turkeys, and I did the research on them. Turkey is in the pheasant family.
But I said, a turkey and he will not eat anything.
A turkey.
You've seen that yourself.
No, I said that turkeys are domesticated birds. They are not a turkey buzzard. A turkey buzzard
That's not what I'm asking you, though. See, first you said,
well, have you seen a turkey?
I told you that when you were here before. I haven't observed the characteristics of a turkey.
Okay, so how can you
I'm going on what it says after its kind. They call it the turkey buzzard. It's in the buzzard family, as far as I'm concerned. I don't care about what that book says, what it's in the pheasant family.
But you have
not going by that.
Based on your feelings.
I'm not going by feel. I'm going by what I see and what I understand. If I say a turkey, and then when I look up turkey buzzard, just like you had the picture here when you came in.
I got it right here.
And they both look alike. That's enough for me. Well, when in doubt, do without. I'm going to do without.
That's your choice. But
like I said to you before, and I said this to other people, if you want to eat it, you eat it.
That's true.
That's fine with me.
Well, what I'm saying is you can't use the scriptures as a basis to say that. If you don't want to do it, look at it this way.
Again,
just like
we don't even see the turkey in scripture. We don't see the chicken.
You don't see a lot of things.
I said we don't see the turkey. We don't see the chicken.
Talks about the fowls that are clean and the
and
fowls
I
that are not clean.
said to you before, the chicken I know for a fact is a scavenger. I've observed that. Okay, I know.
When have you seen a chicken eat a dead body?
A chicken will eat anything. Okay, it's a scavenger. You don't take people in the South know this who raise chickens. You don't take a chicken up off the ground and eat it if you're concerned about what you eat.
A chicken is in the same family as a pheasant.
That's what they tell you in that book.
That's what it is.
That's what they tell you in that book.
Turkey, let me break this down for you one more time.
You already broke it down. It doesn't make any difference what you say about that. I know what a chicken
just like when you're doing a turkey and you try to put a turkey in the same family as a turkey buzzard. That's just like taking a chicken or putting it in the same category as a chicken hawk just because it has a name, or a catfish saying that it's a cat because his name cat is in his name. The only reason why a turkey buzzard is named a turkey buzzard is because
like I said before, you can eat what you want and anybody else can eat what they want. I'm not eating. It's not going to make any difference what you say.
I'm just for the record. I'm just letting you.
It already was for the record. You just want it down on your tape recorder. That's fine with me.
No, I'm just saying. The fact of the matter is, a turkey buzzard is in the condor family. It is a bird of prey. It's a scavenger. A domesticated turkey is in the pheasant family. It is not a scavenger. If you do not want to eat a turkey, then that is perfectly fine. But you cannot use the scriptures as a basis to deny that. Just like getting back to the subject, when it comes to milk, you're taking this scripture, Deuteronomy 32.
Absolutely.
Simply because it says butter of kine and the milk of sheep.
Absolutely.
Just because something is not mentioned doesn't mean it's prohibited.
Again, we know from reading some of the stuff you read from the same basic source, and I know this for a fact. You drink cow's milk, it fills up the lungs, it creates mucus in the system. Okay? That mucus is not good. Okay? This is why you see children. That's why you see children, okay, filled with snot in their nose because they used to be fed milk. They got other stuff for them now. That's detrimental, okay? But milk clogs up the system. I know that for a fact. I used to drink milk. I used to eat milk, okay, and milk products.
Wow.
It clogs up the system. It creates constipation. That's not good.
People who are lactose intolerant. Everybody who considers milk is not
considered lactose intolerant.
Well, I know personally, I don't experience any of those symptoms in my
You keep drinking and eating milk.
I'm just trying to show you that everybody's not biochemically the same, so you're going to see different symptoms.
So therefore, like I said, listen, everybody told you before, okay? I've told you before. You can do what you want.
That goes without saying.
Okay? I'm dealing with this. It doesn't say milk of kind.
Okay, let me ask you this.
It says butter.
Okay.
Butter has a total different consistency, a total different makeup than milk.
Okay, so it says cheese is not mentioned here. Can we consume cheese?
It's not if it's made with cow's milk.
So according to you,
not if it's made with cow's milk. It's still cow's milk. The same thing with ice cream.
Okay, so you're saying unequivocally we cannot consume cheese of kind. That's what you're saying, right?
How many times I gotta say it?
Okay, so I'm going to show you in the scriptures right now what you just said was incorrect. Can I show you that?
Yeah.
Okay, you can turn here with me. We're going to go to 2 Samuel.
What?
17th chapter.
Yeah. What's that when Abigail brought the food? No, that's yeah.
We're going to turn it. So turn here with me. Turn to 2 Samuel.
What chapter?
Chapter 17. I'm going to read the 28th verse. Now this is according to our ancestor. Right. Our ancestor King David, this is what he consumed. I'm going to read this. He said, started 28th verse. Brought beds and basins and earthen vessels and wheat and barley and flour and parched corn and beans and lentils and parched pulse and honey and butter and sheep and cheese of kind.
I got it, Mom.
Okay, so I just asked you whether or not we can consume cheese of kind. You said absolutely no.
I said that, right?
Okay, but you were incorrect.
Well, again, just because he ate it, that still doesn't make it that it was correct, does it? We know that he did certain things.
This was King David.
This was Governor David. Okay, I told you.
Regardless.
This was Governor David.
Whatever you want to call it, this was our ancestor David. That's true. Well, where did you say this was wrong? Well, again.
Okay. Anybody got any comments off it? What they heard so far? No comments? Let me fast forward a little bit.
You're not going to see anything implied other than milk and sheep in Deuteronomy. Now, are you going to show me somewhere in Deuteronomy where it says that we can eat the milk of kind?
He doesn't have to say that.
No, he's giving them the law.
He's not giving them, listen, let's read the context of what he's saying.
I'm going to read you the spot. Okay,
let me read this, what we're talking about right now.
Read it. So I'm going to read you the spot where he told them to give them the law.
Him, and there was no strange idol with them. Mm-hmm. He made him to ride on high places of the earth, that he might eat the increase of the fields, that he made him to suck honey out of the rock. This is talking about prosperity, and oil out of the flinty rock, butter of kine, and milk of sheep with the fat of lambs, and rams of the breed of Bashan, and goats with the fat of kidneys of wheat. And thou didst drink the pure blood of the grape. All that's talking about is the prosperity that we had when he brought us into our land. When he took us out of Egypt, and he's talking about the prosperity.
They wasn't in the land.
Well, when he's talking about when he made us to ride upon the high places, he took us out from the Egyptians, out of the house of bondage.
They weren't in the land, yeah.
Right, but this is talking about prosperity. This has nothing to do with dietary law. You're taking this out of context.
You said Deuteronomy 12 and 14 doesn't have anything to do with dietary law either?
We're in 32.
But the whole book of Deuteronomy was about the law.
I'm not disputing. The whole Torah is the first 5 books.
Again, he told them, he says, give them the law again before you die and before they cross the Jordan.
Sure. But again, you're taking this particular scripture out of context because this is only talking
about how you see it.
But that's how it is.
To see it that way.
Okay, but this is only talking about the prosperity about when he said he made us to ride on the high places of the earth, that he might eat the increase of the fields, that he made him to suck honey out of the rock, oil out of the flinty rock, butter of kine, milk of sheep with the fat of lambs, and rams of the breed of Bashan, and goats with the fat of the kidneys of wheat, and thou didst drink the pure blood of the grape. That's his prosperity. But just to run wax fat and kick, thou art waxen fat, thou art grown thick, thou art covered with fatness. Then he forsook Elohim, which made him and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. So that's giving you the whole history of what we did. But the point of the matter is, he's talking about how he brought us to prosperity and how we kicked and rejected him after all that. And this is just talking about the richness of the blessings. It's not a dietary law here. That's all that's describing you.
Okay. Anybody got any comments on that? Anybody, is that what he's talking about? Is he talking about the dietary laws, or is he talking about blessing? Anybody got any comments on that? Okay, yeah. So before we go any further, I just want to let everybody know before I forget that we're going to be on Tuesday nights. Everybody's invited on Tuesday nights to the class. You know, it's no longer just a men's line. It's for anybody that want to get the link and come in through YouTube and interact with Prophets of Awakening for anybody. Yeah, so just wanted you to know that. So, yeah. So no comments on that?
I saw them talking about the turkey and the chicken, but I was thinking, weren't they fed quail in the you know, in the wilderness when they were,
That's a clean bird.
Yeah. So what about the chicken and the because I know that's gonna be controversial for a lot of people.
But the chicken is a filthy animal, you know.
Is it?
Oh yeah. If you watch it, I mean, you've been on a farm or been in a country or been around chickens, you know. Yeah, you ain't right.
I haven't ever. I just always, I never. Yeah. So it is. It eats anything, kind of
Right.
like a
Yeah,
pig.
it's unclean animal. It's unclean animal.
Whoa.
All you have to do is look at what these people done to us, you know, as far as when they brought us over here. All the animals that they brought over here with us was unclean animals. That's their whole objective, to keep us defiled and keep us defiled to the point where we can't really. Our Creator is not going to really deal with us as long as we defile. So on the plantation down in the slave quarters, they bring the different parts of the hog. That's why we cooking hog maws now and pig ears and chitlins and all that, because they brought that unclean animal, the remains of it, down there and gave it to us. It was already starving us to death. So they knew anything that they brought down there, we was gonna flip it and make a delicacy out of it. So the chicken, none of these animals are descendants of are not native of this area or this land. They brought them over here with us. They brought the hog over here with us, and they brought the chicken. You know, all those animals are unclean.
What about what are some clean animals that we could eat then? Like, what are some
Clean
foods you
animals,
recommend?
like Esmac was just saying, you can eat the quail, you can eat that Cornish hen, uh, um, you got the lamb, that's kosher meat. The cow is kosher meat. Uh, yeah, yes.
Well, so do you think we were intended to be vegetarian, just like eat from the earth, like plants, food, nuts,
Well,
like
predominantly,
fruit?
but like I said, it's meats that you can eat, but when you look at the human body and the way that it's functioning and the way it regenerates itself is through most of the vegetation and the nuts and stuff like that is where the body really gets its replenish itself from. Just you could eat meat, got the protein and stuff in it, but it's predominantly the plants and the vegetables and all that is what really makes the human body go and regenerate itself and re-energize itself and all that is through the vegetation. Like I was saying before, we've been lied to from every aspect and every angle, and you got to go back and just uncover stuff one at a time and break it down a little bit at a time, and actually analyze everything that you come across and deal with, and go from there. Yeah. Anybody else got any comments? Let me do more of this play.
The things that he obviously knew.
Gave us the law.
Right.
Whatever he says is correct.
Exactly.
Period.
So,
Okay. And so
you're saying that there's certain things that they
so
should
that
know.
goes back.
So it doesn't matter what they know.
So that goes back to Deuteronomy chapter 32. That's what he says. What you read to me in 2 Samuel, was that 17?
Mm-hmm.
That's not what he said. That's just what they were doing. That was my point initially.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But in Deuteronomy 32, that's what he says.
Right. But you have to understand the context in which he said it.
You keep saying that, okay? And, you understand? You can take that way if you so desire.
Yeah, that's why pertaining to the fruits and veggies that have pesticides in it, that's why it's being encouraged by our people and our leaders, the ones that's in tune with the Creator and all that. He's telling you to produce your own gardens, and grow your own vegetables, and then you want to deal with the pesticide part of it. So yeah, that's how that works. It's just a matter of you just got to get out there and do it. Right, yeah, so I mean, same thing with me when it comes to the turkey and the chicken. Same thing with me. It's I mean, once you, like I said, you do your research and look at it, they ain't right. You gotta find some kind of way to wean yourself off of it. Simple as that. Same way with Christmas and New Year's and all that. Yeah, it ain't right. You're looking at it, you see it, and so you just gotta you gotta wean yourself off of it. Find your way to get off of it. It ain't right. Most I ain't gonna accept it. You know that. Okay.
We're going to come up with it on this, what you want to talk about it here.
Go ahead.
I was saying, yeah, I thought it would be, I was really into seafood, other than, fish, of course, but I was eating crabs and shrimp.
Yeah.
This, before I came into the truth, but I don't miss it.
Why exactly?
So I didn't know about the chicken, but I can
Exactly.
yeah, I can do fish and clean things, but I probably need to eat. I feel better when I'm eating more, vegetables and fruits. I feel better.
Exactly. Right.
So,
You do.
I have to modify this. I gotta figure this out.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't feel as heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, you feel energized or something. Not yeah, the heaviness is gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like with like I was saying a couple of weeks ago about the vitamins. These are the same vitamins. I know back in the day when I was in college and these ain't the same vitamins. You don't get no reaction. You don't get no reaction from these vitamins that they have so called supposed to be supplements and all that. You don't get no.
Right. I
Back
think
in the
they
day, you
add
had to
other
take vitamins to
additives.
sell it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. And it's just everything they're doing now is just simulation. Long as it look like it and and say it on the package, and they get their money. That's cool. But it ain't doing it. It ain't hitting on nothing. They ain't doing that. You can tell. And you sitting there undernourished and all that, and thinking you taking the proper supplements and vitamins, and it ain't hitting on nothing. It ain't working. Everything is assimilation. It ain't hitting on nothing. You gotta produce it yourself, and know for yourself that what you got and what you're taking is something that you did and produced and went through the process yourself and made it happen. Oh yeah. That's something?
Forget about this Saturday. Spin on that, how you want to see it. Well, when we get to that, it ain't gonna get to that. We done that with that before. That's unequivocal, but we're gonna deal with it so you have it on record. So you go back and listen to it, play it for whoever you want to play it for. Well, it is unequivocal because you remember last time I was here and you had so much trouble with Exodus chapter 10? I didn't have any trouble. Yes, you did. You had the trouble. No, now we had odds, right? No. You're saying I had the trouble with Exodus 10. I didn't have trouble with Exodus 10. Well, we'll see. I'm looking at it as you had the trouble with it. So now we're at odds, right? Well, look at it this way. You're saying out of your eyes. Now, we can't talk at the same time. You're saying out of your eyes, and I'm saying out of mine. Mm-hmm. Now, you made the statement that I had trouble with it. I don't see I had any trouble with it. Okay. So, therefore, I see you must have had the trouble with it. Because we're at odds. But we're going to deal with it. So you'll have it on record and you can listen to it. Mm-hmm. Well, I have, because before, what I remember before you left here last time, okay, we were in Exodus chapter 12, not 10. And it's specifically plain in chapter 12 about that. But let's finish on with what you want. Yeah, we're going to go into it because the information that I have out of the scriptures is undeniable. And I'm doing this to help you, Yehuda, because after I show you what I'm going to show you, it's undeniable. And I'm also going to show you undeniable to you. It's going to see you if you look at the book. Let's wait until we get there. Let's finish this here first. Okay. I want you to tighten this up. Okay, well, I'm pretty much done with this because you pretty much conceded my point by saying what you said, which is the fact that when you're taking Deuteronomy 32, and I'm showing you, when I took you to Samuel. What you're showing me, David, is what the people did in 2 Samuel chapter 17. And I said then, it's not necessarily, again, you're telling me what Governor David did. Okay, Yah's the only king. Let's get that straight. All right? Well, you're showing me what a human being did. Okay? Mm-hmm. People sin. We know this. Well, show me where that's bad as a sin against. Well, again, I'm not going to quibble with that. I'm just saying that we know people didn't do everything all the time that was exactly correct. But what does that even David? Okay. But the point being is in Deuteronomy 32, this is not a human being saying this. This is Yah saying this. That's the difference. Now, but the reason he's saying it is that to give us a dietary law, or is it just him talking about prosperity? That's the problem that you're having. You're taking Deuteronomy. You're saying I'm having the problem. I don't see. Well, here's the problem. I'm going to say this again. I'm seeing you got the problem. So we had odds. Hold on. You just conceded, just not too long ago, you conceded the fact that I had a point when I said, and I'm going to repeat it. I said you had a point. Well, here's the point. You're taking Deuteronomy 32 simply because something is omitted. You're taking it as a prohibition, and that is incorrect. There's a lot of things in Deuteronomy 32 that are not mentioned. What you're saying is that Yah is not mentioning everything in the law. Because it's not for them. That was not the law. Okay. That was not the dietary law given right there. Okay. You want to see the dietary law, you go to Leviticus 11, Deuteronomy 14, Deuteronomy 12. There's other places too, but I just mentioned those two. Deuteronomy 32 is one of them. That's not what the law is mentioned. That's not how you see it. So we at odds again. Okay, but you have to admit that the fact is that there's a lot of things that's not mentioned. If you're going to take something as an omission, as a prohibition, then that's everything is not mentioned in every place. Right. Because there's different context. The whole book into context, Genesis through Malachi, you see the whole picture. Of course, we see a picture on a lot of things if you go from that. If you want to start doing that broad. That's how we do it. You listen. Look, we deal with specifics sometimes too. When you're dealing with Leviticus chapter 11, you don't see anything talked about in regards to weed.
Yeah, but does that mean we can't consume that?
I said you don't see that there.
Okay.
That's talking about animals, live creatures.
Right.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
And then when you go to Deuteronomy over there in 12 and 14 and 32, you're going to see some more. That's why he said the pure blood of the grape.
Mm-hmm.
So you got most people now, Esau's eating grape drink, not grape juice. So if they understood that it's the pure blood of the grape, they wouldn't fool with grape drink with sugar additives, sweeteners, laboratory sweeteners.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So, you get the point? Everything is not mentioned in every spot. You take the whole book in the context. The law is from where? Genesis through Deuteronomy, is it not?
Yeah, it means, yeah.
Okay, do you see anything about circumcision in Leviticus or Numbers or Deuteronomy? But it's over in Genesis, is it not? Yeah, so we take the whole book in the context. That's the point. Everything is not mentioned in Leviticus 11 that we can eat.
Well, again,
I said everything is not mentioned in Leviticus 11 or Deuteronomy 12 and 14 or 32 that we can eat. Is that not right?
Right.
But it's all part of the law.
Right.
It's all talking about dietary. And so you take it all in perspective. Is that not right?
You're making the same point I'm making. Because
the point then is, like I keep saying to you, and I'll say it for I think the third or fourth time, and you go back over your notes and listen to them, okay? That in Deuteronomy is Yah talking. That over there in 2 Samuel 17, that's just what humans did.
Again, just because it's not mentioned in Deuteronomy 32 does not mean that we cannot consume it. That's
how you see it.
Okay, but that's
ready to move on?
We can move on, but I'm just making...
We've exhausted this. You're not going to change me. I'm not trying to change you.
Right.
You got your sight on how you see it, and I see it how I see it. So you're going to have to proceed like I told you when you was in before, and I've told you before. You got to proceed on what you see. I got to proceed on what I see. Now, we both can be wrong, but we both can't be right. Because we differ.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Okay. Now, let's get into this whole discussion. Well, let me conclude this. This ends the first discussion with regard to the consumption of milk.
Okay, that was the end of that. So yeah, so this guy right here. If you want to check some of his lessons out, is Yah righteousness. You know, and like I said, I've been dealing with him since maybe 2008, somewhere around up in there. And so, like I said, probably around Friday night or Saturday night, probably gonna come on here, and we'll chop it up, and see what you think about it. In the comments.
He makes a good point when he's talking about, take it all in context.
Right, exactly.
You have to, if it's unclean, whether it's spelled out and you know what unclean is, you know what those types of animals that have been banned do. So if you have another one, that's doing the same thing, like catfish is not in there, but catfish is a scavenger fish, so.
Exactly, right. Yeah. Like I said, look at its behavior. What it do, yeah. So even with, like I keep on saying about the so-called sons of Ham, or the sons of Noah, because of look what the Gentiles. He tell you about the Gentiles. He said they're the people that go down to the sea. What is he talking about? They go down even to the day. We see they down by the harbor. They're down by the sea. They getting lobsters and crabs and shrimp. That's what they do. So how can they be and they've been doing that forever, ever and a day, always through their existence. So how can that be Shem's son? They've been doing that forever and a day. Then all those you know, whatever you want to call them, crustacea or whatever, those shrimp, and crabs, crawfish, all that is abundant. That's what they've been eating forever and a day, and that's what they eat now. They call that the oyster and all that. You know, most I say that, you know, he created all those classes of animals to cleanse the ocean. Same way you got the possum and the skunk and all them to do what they do to decomposing animals. That's why they're there. And they ain't out for human consumption. Is there something? Okay. Like I said, Tuesday night for everybody. And, you know, like I said, get you some questions, some dialogue, and come in on the line. Same on Wednesday nights. Anybody else got anything else for? We don't have nothing else on. Let's be right at an hour, past the hour. No, you ain't got no questions since you've been gone, Miss Dunn or whatever. You ain't got no questions? Mac, Sarah, nobody have no questions?
I think she's trying to ask a question.
Okay, she can't. Okay, what, through the YouTube?
We gotta leave that chicken alone. We gotta leave the chicken alone.
Yeah.
If we could leave the seafood alone, the pork alone, we can get away from that chicken too.
Yeah, that's him. Y'all righteousness. That's him. Yeah.
She was trying to ask Dawn, that's my daughter. She
All
was
right.
trying to ask about if is beef unclean. Oh,
Yeah, beef is clean.
beef is fine. He says beef is
Right. When he says, you know, that's when he says oxen, you know, you gotta, he say you gotta add a calf and an oxen. They have to be sacrificed on the altar. You know, and parts of that oxen or that lamb or that calf that belongs to Israel. They have to eat. They have to consume. So that's all clean meat. You can't bring unclean meat on the altar. So that's how that works. Then it got a certain amount of, once it's been cooked, got a certain amount of days to eat it. If it ain't eaten, it has to be got to be burnt on the altar, discarded. Yeah. So everybody good?
Yep, we're good.
Yeah. So come up with some questions or something you want to dialogue. We can talk about it. Try to make the class more interesting. Okay. I see the women tomorrow for the women's line at it started at 8:00. Say shalom. See y'all tomorrow at 8.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.